All right. This is my first video doing this, and I'm obviously I've gone long already, but I did have a movie night that I wanted to uh, watch films that I felt would fit okay with Rad. So I'll just quickly go through those. What I watched was a film I hadn't seen for a while, but I had on disc in my collection for a little while, and I thought, well, I'm going to give this a rewatch. And it's always fun. Another one I remember from cable TV as a kid, but I didn't own until I actually bought the Blu-ray disc several years ago. But it was the first film that starred Nicole Kidman, and that was called BMX Bandits. And so obviously, if you're an 80s kid, you probably remember this thing and you probably liked it or at least watched it. You know, if you watch it today, any of these films, if you watch today, you're going to say, oh my gosh, how did we find that? Why do we think that stuff was good back then? And, you know, good is subjective. Now, I happen to find this stuff as good because it's really fun and I still enjoy it. And if you have fun watching something that's old or something that everybody else finds cheesy, then I say keep watching it and just enjoy it because there's obviously nothing wrong with that. And do what you like. And that's what I do with this. So this film, here I'll read what the back says. This was actually released by a company called Severin, Severin, Severin Releasing. They're another boutique releasing company, kind of like Vinegar Syndrome. They release a lot of Blu-ray, um, old films, vintage films, niche and cult films, and things like that. And so this is where this one came from. And they actually released this one quite a long time ago, 2010. So 10 years ago from the time I'm recording this is when Severin released BMX Bandits onto Blu-ray. So it says, well, it starts with a quote from Quentin Tarantino. After the others, Quentin Tarantino says, this is my favorite Nicole Kidman performance. So if you like Tarantino and care what he thinks, there you go. The future Academy Award winner made her movie debut at 16 years old as the poofy-haired star of this action comedy about a cache of stolen walkie-talkies. Three BMX riding friends and the ruthless bank robbers who will pursue them through every graveyard, shopping mall, construction site, and water park in New South Wales, Australia. It's a high-flying ride to adventure filled with wild stunts, cool BMX outfits, creepy innuendo, and cheesy synth music, an obnoxious fat kid. That's not very nice. And gobs of fast and furious fun. So, uh, just basically nothing much to add to that. It was two boys and a girl, played by Kidman, who are really good on their BMX bikes, and they wind up stealing this cache of walkie-talkies that was going to be used for some major crimes. So, of course, those criminals are on their trail trying to get them back. So that made for a fun adventure if you were a kid watching this in the 80s. And, I was really appreciative when Severin released this to disc because that was really an exciting addition to my collection. And open it up, take a quick look, and there's a look at the disc. The disc art, same as the disc art on the front of the disc. No reversible artwork, no real extra stuff. There are some special features on this, including an audio commentary with writer-director Brian Trenchard Smith, a featurette called BMX Buddies with cast and crew, 40 minutes long, and Nicole Kidman on a show called Young Talent Time, where she was kind of trying to hawk the film. And it was said that she was, I don't know, when you listen to the commentary, first of all, they couldn't get Kidman to do anything for this. Kind of like Lori Loughlin in Rad. And so the issue here was that, not the issue, but, Nicole Kidman, by the time this came out in 2010, she's obviously had a career as one of the top leading ladies in Hollywood. So the prospect of going back to her very first film she ever acted in or was released, very first film released, motion picture, was just not something she was interested really in revisiting. And in fact, in one of these commentaries, I can't remember, it's been a while since I watched this now. Since I watched these a couple months ago, I'm only recording this now. But Nicole Kidman, or excuse me, it might have been, I don't know, Trenchard Smith or one of the producers. Somebody basically said that Kidman, even after this had been shot and was released, that she was kind of, a little uneasy, I guess, trying to promote the film, because, it's kind of like she was a little above that. She was really trying to push her career ahead, and early reviews of the film really kind of singled her out as the bright spot of the film. So, I get it. She probably was really looking forward to, this is a stepping stone. So let's move on. So, but either way, if you have a chance to pick up BMX Bandits from Severin, I don't know if this is out of print. I don't think it is, but I think they're still selling it. So if you're a collector and you like 80s stuff, and of course, this is from Australia, so the Australian accents are very thick in this, which I love now. As a kid, I was like, why are they talking so funny? But now I think it's great. So there you go. BMX Bandits. Finally, I finished off the night with a film released on disc from another boutique releasing company. This one is called Scorpion Releasing. Another one of my favorites because, well, they, like the other two that we just went through, they release some of the coolest stuff from my childhood and growing up that nobody else is going to release. The big companies aren't going to release this stuff because really only like 1,000 to 3,000 people are going to buy this stuff. And usually that's how they release it, is in batches about that size, 1,000 to 3,000. Rad was much bigger. But the film here is the Peter Billingsly farce called The Dirt Bike Kid from 1985. By the way, BMX Bandits was from, I believe, 1983. I don't think I mentioned that. Yeah, 1983. Oh, I don't know. It's not on the back, of course. They didn't put it on here, but I think it's 1983. So it was earlier. I think BMX Bandits is the earliest of these three films. But Dirt Bike Kid was from 1985, starring Peter Billingsley, the kid from A Christmas Story. That's where most people know Billingsley from. So this was, 4 years later, 4 years after A Christmas Story. He did the Dirt Bike Kid. So from the back, this highly requested family classic is now available for the first time on DVD and Blu-ray. Funny they say that because there's only a Blu-ray in here, no DVD. They probably sold it on DVD separately and used the same copy for the back. But from a brand new HD master, 14-year-old Jack Simmons, played by Billingsley, takes it on himself to help his friend, Coach Mike, save his hot dog stand. Mr. Hodgkins, played by Stuart Pankin, is a greedy, self-serving banker who is determined to raise Mike's hot dog stand and build a new bank on its site. Jack's primary resource in his fight against Mr. Hodgkins is a motorbike that does everything except speak French. With this motorized wonder, Jack tackles a gang of tough bikers and the notorious Mr. Hodgkins, taking them for a ride they will never forget. The first and only film directed by Hoyte C. Caston. I don't know, Hoyte, Hoyte. That's how you spell his first name. I don't know how to say it. He did do, he was behind TV's Not Necessarily the News, that kind of a fake news thing, that farce from back in the day. So anyhow, this film, a little bit different. This is not BMX bikes. This was about dirt bikes and kids riding dirt bikes and things like that. And this is about a dirt bike that had a mind of its own, had some magical powers. And, really it was about kind of a family film about how this dirt bike came into the lives of children who needed it most. I mean, I don't know if any of that holds up, but that's kind of how it's pitched in this film. And so it kind of reminded me of a little bit of Herbie. The dirt bike doesn't talk, but it has a mind of its own, and it does have some magical powers. And it was fun rewatching this. I hadn't watched this for many, many years, and so when I got this disc a few years back, which I can't, it doesn't say when Scorpion Releasing actually released this, but it was fun sticking it in and watching it, and I was like, oh man, I do remember this from when I was a kid. And so special features, brand new HD master from the original IP, brand new interviews with stars Stuart Pankin and producer Julie Corman, because this was a New Horizons production, which was Roger Corman's company. Audio commentary with director Hoyte Caston, and the original trailer. So there it is, The Dirt Bike Kid. And take a look inside. There was no reversible artwork on this disc. And there's the disc itself, the disc art, which you can see mimics the regular sleeve art exactly. So, just kind of I don't want to say bare bones. There are special features on this. But, just kind of a nice little package to have if you enjoy these kind of whimsical films from the 80s, especially if you were a kid from the 80s like I was and you remember some of these things. So there you go. That was my night, I'm going to say about a month and a half ago. I meant to record this video earlier, so I've been away from these films for about a month and a half, so I kind of forgot a lot of the stuff I would have originally wanted to say, but fun stuff. We had Rad. This was the new release, and again, very, very limited. So if you can find this, I don't know, on eBay or something for a decent price that you can afford, definitely pick it up, because I'm not sure it'll be released again on physical format like this. And this is the 4K UHD along with the Blu-ray disc, so you'll definitely want that. BMX Bandits from Severin. I think it's still in print. I think you can still find it and pick it up for a reasonable price. And The Dirt Bike Kid with Peter Billingsly from Scorpion Releasing. So there you go. Two-wheeled adventures here at the Pop Retro YouTube channel as sort of the first video that we've done here from the temporary digs, the temporary studio.